around and cloud as well, and that cloud thickens up as it works its way across Pakistan and towards the northern parts of India, where we're seeing quite a bit of snow.
Qatar Airways, world's 5-star airline.
As geeks take on dictators, bloggers turn dissidents, and social networks root for social justice, governments are going cyber, spying on their citizens, erecting firewalls like iron curtains, and closing down websites. We ask, is cyber-generated change virtual or real? Empire at this time on Al Jazeera.
You're watching Al Jazeera. A reminder on the very latest on the uprising in Libya. The battle between pro and anti-Gaddafi forces continues. Some of the fiercest fighting has taken place in the key oil export terminal of Brega, some 500 kilometers east of the capital, Tripoli. The Libyan leader has again said he will not step down, and Al Jazeera has learned that Colonel Gaddafi has accepted an offer by Venezuelan leader Hugo Chavez to mediate the crisis. The Arab League says it could impose the restrictions over Libyan airspace if fighting continues, but the US Defense Secretary is warning of the gravity of such a move. The social media sites continue to be an important source of information and images out of Libya. Tariq Bazley is at our web desk.
Well, thanks, Anand. As we've been hearing, in the last 24 hours, the port town of Brega, which is home to a major oil facility, has been seen fighting between anti and pro-government forces. This raw footage, 9 minutes in total, has been uploaded to YouTube, appears to show fighting in the sand dunes near the coast. Well, the anti-government forces, armed with automatic weapons and rocket-propelled grenades, appear to fire and come under fire. This man says he'll leave by force, referring to Colonel Gaddafi. Bullets are fired, a man falls to the ground. And this chap, he says he's against the regime, against the stray dog. Well, another man claims they're fighting mercenaries he says were grouped near the port and travelling in 120 cars. Also posted to the web what's claimed to be an interview with a reservist soldier captured after the fighting.
I was a reserve soldier. They told us to get into the cars. We wore our gear and were taken to Brega. We were going to make base there or clean it or something, to sweep it so they can control it. I won't lie to you. They told us we were going to do some military cleaning. It means whoever attacks you with bullets, you shoot them.
But it appears that the battle for Brega is not over, if comments on the microblogging site Twitter are to be believed. In the last few hours, Shabab Libya says the cars are reported to be full of mercenaries with the intention of joining a battalion outside Ras Lanaf to head to Brega to regain Libya. And Dicey Lee 808 says in the city of Huaha, reports 70 cars have arrived in town filled with mercenaries. They plan to attack the city of Brega, occupy it and the airport. And a curious tweet too, referring to the use of mercenaries. Redafaya Kabara tweets in French, which we've translated, saying the recruitment of mercenaries is facilitated by the presence of TAM Oil. That's the Libyan government-owned oil group. He says headed by Gaddafi's cousin. The recruitment of mercenaries in 22 countries. Well, plenty of material continuing to come in and up online. Updates on our Live Libya blog page. That's that page there. All our content online, news, views and analysis updated 24/7. The address aljazeera.net/English. Well, that's all for now, Anand. Back to you.
Thanks, Tariq. Now, 2 US servicemen have been shot dead as their military coach arrived at Germany's Frankfurt airport. A 21-year-old Kosovan man has been arrested. 2 other US Air Force personnel were injured. Nick Spicer reports.
The attack took place inside a bus after a lone gunman got inside a vehicle carrying U.S. military personnel. He shot at several passengers just as it pulled into the terminal. 1 soldier and the bus driver were killed.
I would like to express how upset I am. The German government will do everything to find out what happened. I would like to express my condolences to the American soldiers and their families and relatives. It's a terrible tragedy.
Police have arrested a suspect. In a surprise appearance in the White House briefing room, the U.S. President Barack Obama was quick to respond, saying he's saddened and outraged by the attack.
We will spare no effort in learning how this outrageous act took place and in working with German authorities to ensure that all of the perpetrators are brought to justice.
The regional interior minister said the man being blamed for the attack was from Kosovo, but wouldn't specify if he was a soldier or what the motivation could be.
We're
investigating all possibilities. Whether there is a terrorist background, a jihadist background or an Islamic background, I cannot say at all right now. Our investigations will reveal that, as well as what the perpetrator's motives were.
It's quiet now, but this is one of the busiest airports in the world. Thousands of people go through here every day, and many of them are American service personnel. That's because there are major American military bases nearby, providing medical and logistical support for the conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan. Nick Spicer, Al Jazeera, Frankfurt.
Thursday is the last day for WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange to lodge his appeal against a decision by the United Kingdom High Court. He's to be extradited to Sweden to face questioning on sexual assault allegations. Assange denies the accusations. The British court gave the go-ahead for Assange's extradition last Thursday. Meanwhile, Bradley Manning, the soldier accused of leaking thousands of classified U.S. government documents to WikiLeaks, is facing more charges. The U.S. Army has filed an additional 22 counts against him, including aiding the enemy. Manning has already been accused of 12 other charges in connection with the material, which was published on the WikiLeaks website. Nobel Peace Prize winner Mohammed Yunus has begun his fight against his sacking as head of the Grameen Bank. He was fired by Bangladesh's central bank on Wednesday. It says he violated the country's retirement laws. The microfinancier has filed a writ with Bangladesh's High Court challenging his removal. Mexican authorities have found a mass grave in the south of the country. Police in the state of Guerrero say it contains the bodies of at least 17 people. A spokesperson has said the grave was found on Tuesday in the town of San Miguel Totolapan and that more bodies could be discovered. It's the 5th mass grave found in Mexico since June. The drugs war is expected to be on the agenda when Mexican President Felipe Calderón meets Barack Obama at the White House on Thursday. Frank Contreras reports on how relations have been strained by the crisis.
Neighbors in distress. Once again, security, or the lack of it, will top the agenda when the U.S. and Mexican leaders meet. Nearly 40,000 people have lost their lives in Mexico's drugs war. Two of the most recent casualties, U.S. federal agents who were in Mexico to investigate migrant smuggling groups. 1 week after the shooting, these suspects, allegedly members of the Zetas drug trafficking organization, were arrested. Police say they confessed to committing the killing, calling it a case of mistaken identity. Mexico and the United States are economically intertwined, but the relationship is often delicate. The latest source of tension, leaked U.S. diplomatic